Hey guys, it's Drew. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that voice right there. I think it was really high. Anyway, it's Drew. I wasn't gonna make another video until, well, I was gonna make, and actually, I guess today. I was gonna make it after I got my third T-shot, which should be sometime today. I don't know if I'm gonna do it now or after class, but I wanted to do a quick update on what happened yesterday. It was pretty eventful. Yeah, so yesterday around like 3 o'clock, I was just sitting playing Guitar Hero, like chilling before class, nothing stressful, nothing going on, and I started to feel real heavy. Like I was breathing really heavily, like I couldn't get enough oxygen, and like I couldn't stop. It was almost like I was hyperventilating, but not really, because I felt like I had control. But like every time I take a breath, it would be like I'd be like this really deep breath, and I just keep doing it over and over again. And I couldn't stop, because even if I tried to slow it down, it's like I felt like I was suffocating. And I ended up getting kind of dizzy, and like I couldn't feel my hands. Like, I mean, I could feel them, but they were starting to feel like they're like, you know how when they don't get enough oxygen and people say like they're falling asleep. They started to feel like that. Excuse me. And that wasn't cool. I originally I thought the breathing was maybe asthma kicking in. Like, I haven't had bad asthma in years, but maybe. So I took my inhaler, and that just made it worse. If it did anything, it made it worse. I kept thinking it would just go away, so I just went to class, and I was breathing all funny, but like I tried to keep it under control. I got through, a couple hours later, and then finally in the middle of class, I got up and left because I started to feel really kind of numb and weird all over. So I got up, called my mom, couldn't get a hold of her, called a whole bunch of other people. I guess I was trying to find a solution that didn't involve going to the hospital. No one likes hospitals. But eventually my teacher came out and saw me and called security, and then security called an ambulance, so I didn't really get a choice. It was just, here's your ambulance, go. So that was interesting. Yeah, the whole explaining to people, and well, first of all, it wouldn't be that awkward, but when I was like, my teacher calls me Drew, right? But my school ID has a different name, and obviously a very female name. And so like my teacher was talking to security saying, this is Drew, he's having some trouble breathing, whatever. And then so they make an announcement on the walkie-talkie. He's like, so we've got a 21-year-old male, having trouble, like short of breath, whatever. And then he's like, can I see your ID? And so I hand him my ID. He goes, correction, 21-year-old female. I'm like, fuck. And from then on, they keep using female pronouns and calling me Anna, despite the fact it's not what I introduced myself to them as, but I couldn't really do anything because I'm freaking out. The paramedics came, they got me, whatever, brought me in the ambulance. The lady asked me my name, and I cringed, and she noticed, but she didn't say anything until a little bit later. She's like, do you go by a different name? I was like, yeah, Drew. She's like, okay. But, yeah, in the ambulance, they actually had a guy in training. I don't know if he was a paramedic or EMT, someone. It was, like, his first day in the ambulance. I felt so bad for the guy. He was, like, they were just grilling him, which, is good, because he's got to know the answers, but, like, poor guy. I would hate to be in his shoes. But, yeah, so they were grilling a bunch of stuff, and then it came up to, like, asking me my medical history, and I'm like, yeah, I started testosterone 2 weeks ago. And he's like, okay, wrote it down. And then the other lady goes, you know what that is? And then he was like, and he didn't know, and then she's like, alright, well, if you don't know, you have to ask. And then she explained what it was. And it's like, when a girl wants to be a guy, and then that made me cringe, because the whole wants to part, but whatever. I mean, that's just the way that they explain it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but, I'm not, whatever. I'm not going to go start a fight in the ambulance. So, like, explain it in a way that he could understand, which was cool. The ladies there were really nice. And, again, I still felt so bad for this poor guy. He was going to give me my IV, and I almost wanted to, like, tell him to stop. Not because I'm not one to tell. Like, I know he's in training, and I know he needs practice, and I know I'm a pretty relaxed person, so great practice on me. I'm not going to freak out at you for being, like, a new guy, because I know so many people that would freak out and be like, you're not touching me if you're new. And I'm not like that, because they need to practice somehow, and I'd rather, be calm and let him do it. The problem is I could tell he was he was feeling kind of anxious about it. He was just trying to get it all done. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I got plenty of room. Like, it's all going on. And I didn't look because he was so flustered. I thought maybe I'd look away so it would relieve some stress. But I really probably should have just gone up to him and been like, yo, stop. Like, I should have told him to stop and take a breath and calm down because he was just too flustered. And I don't know what he did, but there was blood everywhere. Like, just by sticking the IV in. Like, again, I wasn't looking, but I looked down, and they've got piles of gauze on my arm, and they're, like, hold it in, like, just apply pressure. And then, at, like, the whole rest of the ambulance, right, they're doing cleanup for my blood. That's pretty awesome. So I guess it got everywhere. But, yeah, I didn't even notice it was, like, on the back of my arm. Like, they wiped off this side of my arm, because they couldn't see it on the back. Like, I had giant chunks of blood. And, like, I got home, and I was like, oh. I walked all the way home with my sleeves rolled up with that chunk of blood from the hospital. But yeah, so hospital was fun too, having to explain to, like, I don't know. I haven't been to a hospital in a while, but I didn't realize how many different people you talk to. So you got the paramedics, right? Well, first you got, like, the fire truck people that showed up first. Talked to them. They gave me oxygen. Awesome. Oxygen actually helped, not gonna lie. Because, yeah, apparently it was just an anxiety attack. I don't know what would have caused it, seeing as I was playing Guitar Hero when I started to be hard of breath. And it's not like I couldn't beat Slash or something. Like, it was fine. I was just chilling, relaxing, playing some songs that I like to play. But something, God knows what, something triggered it. And it just started and it wouldn't go away. Like I said, I tried really, like, I spent hours, like, breathing funny, like, trying to just calm down and, you know, be okay, but not so much. But yeah, the hospital was a very awkward situation because I have to explain to all of them that I am on testosterone. Because that's part of the medical history that they all need to know. So having to explain that to about 5 or 6 different people. So you got the paramedics, you got, like, the person that checks you in, then you got the person that checks you out, like a triage, I think it's called, whatever, takes your vitals and whatnot. And then you got some, when they take you to the room, you got some doctor, and then he leaves, and I come back, and another doctor comes in. Although that doctor actually knew, like, he had heard from, like, I heard them talking, not gonna lie. There's a little curtain, and apparently they think I can't hear them. Yeah, I can hear them. But, yeah, I heard them talking, and basically they're saying, yeah, we don't know what to do. They didn't say we don't know what to do, but they're like, yeah, I don't know anything about testosterone therapy. I don't know how it affects this, this, and this. I'm like, that's great. Can't there be someone in the hospital who knows? Like, I don't think that's a problem. I hadn't taken my... Again, this happened yesterday, so it had been almost a full week since my last shot. So maybe it was wearing off and estrogen was... Excuse me, knocked my computer. Was kicking back in. I don't know. But I don't really think it had anything to do with the testosterone. I think it was just fucking freak. Excuse my language, sorry. I don't like doing that on camera. Yeah, I think it was just like a freak accident. But it was an experience. Yeah, I hope not to have to go to the hospital anytime soon, because I don't like having to explain that to like 8 different doctors that I'm a female to male transsexual and I'm on hormones. And have them be like, okay, like, it's fine if they, honestly, if they didn't know and they just asked me or just said, you know, hey, I'm not too sure what that is or what that means for your body, let me go consult with someone else. That'd be fine. Even if they go Google it, like, fine.